What's up? It's Robert from Existence First, mental training for a modern world. In today's mental training, I'm going to talk about speech because I think speech is often misunderstood. We are taught to view speech as a collection of words. And in a way, yes, when we speak, like as I'm speaking right now, it is a collection of words, but there is a deeper layer to it. And that deeper layer is the tonality, the pitch, the tone, the frequency, what have you, of what I'm saying. A perfect example is the other day I was reading this thing for work. It was this big, long, either a financial or legal document that was not fun to read. And as soon as I pulled it up and I saw how long it was, I said to myself, I don't want to read this. And that, I immediately then inspected that internal dialogue, not just for the words in it, but also for the tonality. Because if you listen to that tonality, I don't want to read this, that is a pattern. It's a pattern of sounds, a pattern of notes. Just like when a piano player or a violinist is reading the sheet music and there's all these notes, C sharp, B, whatever. I'm not into music, so that pattern of notes, when played in that sequence, creates a certain sound. And so things that we say oftentimes fall into these sound patterns, right? Like, I don't want to read this. And that sound pattern can be replicated in all sorts of situations with different words. You could say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to clean my room, like a young kid might say. And all of these different situations share, despite their diversity, they share the same pattern of sounds, pattern of notes. And what that pattern is expressing is it's expressing the emotional state of the person saying it, right? It's the emotional tone of the message. And not only does it kind of communicate or express the emotional state of the speaker, but it also accentuates that emotional state for the speaker. I've tried over and over again exploring this concept of talking about your own weaknesses or limitations or whatever, and the result is the same every single time. The more you talk about your weaknesses, the more you reinforce those weaknesses, the more you bury yourself into self-limitation. And part of that is because if you're feeling something and then you try to express it, then you're kind of doubly experiencing it. And you're experiencing it first subjectively without saying anything, but then you communicate it and you state or you sing that pattern of notes to another person, and now you're experiencing the feeling a second time. And not only that, the other person might echo or reinforce, or they might say like, okay, I understand what you're saying, and now it's reinforced a third time. So that just is a testament to the Tony Robbins principle of where attention goes, energy flows. You're just flowing more and more energy into it. So does this mean that words don't matter? Not exactly. I mean, words do matter. Certain words are trigger words, and like I've said in another video. And one thing that we need to do in order to defend our minds and protect our minds from other people and from just negativity in the environment is to be on guard for certain trigger words, such as lockdown, right? Being used in the sense of coronavirus. I mean, there's no reason to say the word lockdown when you're talking about a virus, because lockdown means you lock the doors to protect from intruders, from, it's a security issue. It's not I'm going to stay home to prevent the spread of this illness. That's a concept completely different. But at the same time, lockdown is a little pattern of notes. It's a mini pattern of notes, even though it's just one word, lockdown. And that pattern of sound is going to trigger in your memory certain past memories, whether that be being in elementary school and then you do this lockdown drill, pretending that there's a active shooter in the hallway, like that's what your mind is going to go to. And so when people use these words, you have to, or I should say, these sound patterns, you have to be aware of how that's going to trigger certain thoughts and certain emotional states in you. And so the whole activity of monitoring and preventing sort of maybe toxic relationships or toxic influences from others is monitoring the sound patterns that are being received by your antenna, by your whatever you call satellite dish, right? You're receiving these frequencies constantly from the environment, and now living well becomes and living strongly in an environment of chaos becomes the art of neutralizing these frequencies as they enter your field, I suppose. All right, that's all for today. If this video is helpful, then check out my website, existencefirst.com. There's a lot of video courses there that further explain sort of this hidden reality to things that allow for a more empowering way of going about life. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and put your existence first.